What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Gotham Knights at the Summer Game Fest. Now, I'm talking specifically about that opening day live stream, June 9th. You can actually go to IMAX theaters and watch Jeff Keighley's show, or you can obviously watch it at home. I will be co-streaming it, but he announced it yesterday, and immediately people were pretty on it. Gotham Knights, WB Montreal immediately jumped out. Now, there's a little bit more to talk about than I think other people have said so far, but the gist of it is not only did they retweet it, and I believe both WB Montreal and Gotham Knights retweeted the initial announcement that, hey, June 9th is Summer Game Fest, that opening day. They both retweeted it. WB Montreal also replied to it with a purple heart, So here's the thing. They did it before with Xbox Bethesda. I think they retweeted it, but they were attached in some way to that. But I think it was only a I don't think they went as far as to do what they did here. The tough thing is, we also have Xbox replying to Gotham Knights or WB Montreal in regards to when they announced the release date. I believe when they announced the release date, Xbox responded to them. They responded back. So I guess what I'm saying is there's been back and forth more than in one event. And while I do think the Xbox Bethesda show is possible, and maybe they could even do it at both, I do think Summer Game Fest kind of jumps off the page more just because of what we've seen today. Now, I do want to acknowledge the fact that it's not uncommon for developers, for publishers, etc., to retweet or like or comment even on these kind of things. It's always been a big thing around Summer Game Fest time. It's always been a thing around game award time in like December, right? There's actually been several times where I think even WB companies in the past have either retweeted or responded, and that'll get people talking, you know what I mean? And they'll be asking, hey, are you going? And the answer from them is, no, we're not going. We just wanted to show our support. So you do have to keep that in mind. It is pretty, Jeff Keighley is kind of like a leader in this, it's kind of a replacement E3. He's honestly more likable, I think, than an E3 is. So it's not unthinkable or it's historically been done where developers throw support at it or at him, right? Where they will retweet. Like, it doesn't mean they're going to be there. However, again, like I said, there's a couple options. Number one, they could very well be at both. I used this example, I think yesterday I made the video talking about Summer Game Fest just generally, and I can't think of a specific example, but I know this has happened before when, say at Summer Game Fest, you show a trailer, and then you say, okay, at the end of the trailer, it says, tune in to Xbox Bethesda's show for full-length reveal or gameplay presentation, right? That's happened at E3s before. It's happened actually with Assassin's Creed. That's an example for E3 when they'll show it at Xbox, but they'll say, hey, tune into the Ubisoft show for the full reveal. That's happened. That's a pretty common thing. So you could do that. Gotham Knights could be shown very briefly at Summer Game Fest, and then again at Xbox Bethesda. It could be at one or the other. There's obviously only a couple options there. It could technically be at neither, right? You also have to think about, and I know maybe it's lazy, maybe you're copping out when you say it, fine, you could use whatever excuse you want, but, obviously the game comes out at the end of October, and this is all happening in June, whether it's June 9th for Summer Game Fest or June 12th, which, by the way, it's a Thursday, Sunday. The Summer Game Fest is Thursday. That same Sunday is Xbox Bethesda. So, at that point, we're getting really close to Gotham Knights. Like, you would imagine in the summer and then into the fall, into September, you come back if you're Gotham Knights and you don't go away. There's no going dark again. There's no ignoring everybody for like 5.5 years. Like, you're actually back, right? So what better time to kick that off than at one of these two shows? Again, I get it. It's copping out, right? Because it's like, well, of course they could. Of course they don't need to. They could do a Sony thing. They could go on their own. I get it. But again, why are you? Well, it's tough. It's tough because I just said I was gonna say, why are you responding to these tweets that Jeff Keighley is doing? Again, it could very much just be showing support, but at this point, you need to come. I don't think it's even a question. You need to come back out. What Gotham Knights did with that release date is laughable, and it's laughable in good ways, and it's laughable in very awful ways, where it's like you came out, you just gave the release date, and then you pieced out, and it's almost funny, and it is, well, to me, I laughed. I literally laughed out loud. I sent a tweet out saying that it's laughable it happened. I think the creative director of the game liked my tweet that said that, so maybe they have a good sense of humor there, but it's insane to me that they announced the release date, didn't give any interviews, didn't show a new trailer, didn't show new gameplay. The website hasn't been updated in a year plus, right? Like, nothing. So, like, or maybe it's less than a year, whenever, maybe DC Fandom, I don't remember when they did the website, but it's insane that happened. You know, I actually can't believe that happened. So it's without a doubt, everybody I think is on the same page. They need to come back out and show something. And again, I think Summer Game Fest makes a lot of sense. Really, the one thing I will say maybe against Xbox Bethesda it's showing up is why. Why would it show up at Xbox Bethesda? They have so much to do. They have Bethesda game. Well, as the presentation title, shows, they have Bethesda games to worry about, and they have Xbox games. But no, I mean, the rumor with that is that every internal Xbox studio, which by the way, there's like over 30, they've all given in something to show up at that presentation. So, and Xbox may need to cut down on them because they can't fit them all in. Now that's a rumor, but you think about it, and that makes sense. I mean, even if you show 15 games at the Xbox Bethesda showcase, they're each 3 minutes long. That's 45 minutes. The show is an hour and a half. So, I mean, and that's only if it's 3 minutes. So, you know what I mean? So, like, continue it up. Maybe you do 20 games, but maybe they're 4 minutes long. I mean, you're done. You're pretty much done there. And does Xbox Bethesda have 20 games? Yeah, they do. Do you need to do third-party games? Not really. You know what I mean? So, could you? Yes. Could Gotham Knights come out on Game Pass day one? Yes. Could that show up at the presentation? Would that be a big deal? Yes, it would. So there are ways of getting it in, but I think if there's one that makes more sense to do, it's obviously Summer Game Fest. So couple that with that Gotham Knights needs to come back eventually, and then couple that again with them retweeting both accounts, not just one, which is weird, retweeting Jeff and then also responding to Jeff. That kind of stands out to me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.